How's it hanging, my oranges? As you may notice, I am in space. Ooh, now I'm underwater. And now I'm in Minecraft. Or just behind a fucking green screen. Behind, in front. But, yeah, I've got a nice new setup. I've got some nice new even lighting. I've got some nice new even lighting, as you can tell. I'm happy with it. I hope you're just as happy as I am. So anyway, I've been trying to make some videos. I tried to do a Daddy of 5 video, but I've lost the script. I tried to do 2 different React videos, but both the files of them got corrupted. I tried to do a vlog when I went to Plymouth, but I got not enough footage. But anyway, this video is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. Now, the original idea behind the video, it was going to be a video about the Black Mirror series and how one particular episode signified a more overall downfall of an otherwise pretty good series. Then I had to re-watch it, because, as you do if you're writing a script about something. But as I was watching it back, well, the script, it changed into why Black Mirror has been a bad series from the start. Don't get me wrong, as the writers of Black Mirror can be really good, and I will actually start with the successes of the series and where they have really outshone in what they're trying to do, and then I'll move on to everywhere they have failed. Now, to help me with this episode and to segment it up, I have broken all the episodes into categories of good, and by that I mean it's what it's trying to be. Good in the sake of it's not quite what it's trying to be, but it is still just a good episode. And then where most of the episodes lie, I could only class as shit. To save confusion, I will say right here, right now, that number 2 and number 3 have been swapped in order of how I'm going to talk about them, but that's just because I wanted to try and bookmark this video with positive notes. And that started because I was trying to categorize it into, oh no, it's not a horror, because a lot of stuff is, in general, quite a light-hearted thing, and very happy endings. I don't even class it quite as like a sci-fi thriller, because not all of it's super sci-fi-esque. I know. I guess you can have a few episodes that taper off, but it's not enough for me to categorize it all under one fucking banner. Now, I'm not going to cover every single episode in the series, merely the ones that I feel represent the problems the best and most validate my arguments. I may cover the other episodes in another video if you really want that, but for now, we're staying here. So, let's start with the good, what it wants to be, with such episodes as 15 Million Merits, Archangel, and Men Against Fire. If you see me looking that way, it's because this is a script I have dug out that I did write a while ago, so it's not the freshest in my mind. But anyway, the reason these episodes, I feel, do what they set out to do, as they leave you with a sense of unease due to the general subject matter of the episodes and how they handle them, because if you really think about it, a lot of them are just exaggerated aspects of today's society. 15 million merits, tackles smaller things like advertising culture to the bigger things like coercion in the media industry and over-sexualization of women in said industry, as well as forced susceptibility and an artificial class system, among many other things. In this tale, a man who tries to stand up to this system ultimately ends up becoming part of the system he so deeply hated, becoming another pawn, another false hope to all the people on the bottom floor who will never escape. This is my favourite episode as the message is pretty strong and it is executed pretty fucking well. Then we go to Men Against Fire, which is an allegory for how we use ignorance to incite fear and hatred within other groups. Bigger than that, it deals with the topic of eugenics and the idea of a military with such power and control that it can, in effect, change the world to how it sees fit.
You see mass? Well, that's the ultimate military weapon. It helps you with your intel, your targeting, your comms, your conditioning. It's a lot easier to pull the trigger when you're aiming at the boogeyman.
When someone can control and manipulate everything you see, using you as a human weapon against innocent people who, as they have deemed unfit for the bloodline. Pretty fucked and scary, right?
You're protecting the bloodline. And that, my friend, is an honor.
There's no honor here.
Yeah. They tried to do this deep dystopian thing in most of their episodes, but I really don't feel like most of their messages have a solid message behind them. And that's my problem. It's all the bullshit they try to pass off is deep and introspective. And here's where I change gears slightly. Out of the 12 episodes of the shit category, I have chosen 5 to talk about here. Not all of them in super depth, but I have chosen 5. Otherwise this would be way too long a fucking episode. Thank me later. What 5 episodes have you chosen to talk about, Connor? I'll fucking tell you. We have the national anthem. We have Metalheads. We have Hang the DJ. We have Nosedive. And then finally, it will be Shut Up and Dance. All chosen to address the certain issues I have with the series, and as I said earlier, these episodes are the ones that stand out most with the problems. The shit episodes. We're here. Now, I gotta be honest, rewatching this series really did make me want to blow my fucking goddamn brains out. And with the bad episodes, we're gonna start with the first episode. When I say the first episode, I mean the first episode of the first series, which is meant to be like your most poignant episode. And this is the one I probably have the biggest problem with. Now, the premise of this entire episode is that Prime Minister gets blackmailed into fucking a pig. Otherwise, the princess is gonna get offed. I don't want to say the K word because I know I'm not even monetized yet and I probably never will be, but I don't want it to affect me in the algorithm. But anyway, but in the end, yeah, he does. You know, that's it. The Prime Minister fucks a pig It was very relevant when it came out because we had Davy Camry Boy face fucking a pig back in his Scholar Boy days. It was all very relevant, and that's probably what got it a lot of hype in the UK especially. But this is the thing though, and this is the twist of the episode. The princess ends up getting released half an hour before he ends up even having to fuck this pig. But the idea of it is the fact that everyone is too glued to their TV screens because they want to watch a grown-ass guy fuck a pig on national fucking TV. I mean, surely they've got, like, I don't know, jobs to go to or something like that, you know. How can everyone in the fucking country just drop everything like that? Hey man, you up for watching the Prime Minister fuck a pig tonight? It's gonna be bare mental. It's gonna be well lit, man. Now mate, I got my shift at Domino's. I'd love to watch otherwise, but I got pizzas to deliver, mate. I'm sorry. I'll catch you later. Enjoy, man. Enjoy watching the Prime Minister fuck a pig. Oh, you're missing out, mate. You're really missing out. It's going to be well tight. That's how I imagine that would have actually gone. But yeah, not to mention all the fucking nurses that seem to have... all the nurses in this hospital, and apparently some patients as well, they're just all taking a break and... You know, my health can stop deteriorating for a couple of seconds. I can stop dying for like an hour, because it goes on for an hour. And just stop, you know, I'll just watch this guy fuck a pig. You know, it doesn't matter if, you know, someone fucking rocks in and having a heart attack on a fucking... Speedy Bed Boy. I've forgotten what they're called. Gurney? Is that the one? I mean, this is a thing. The only thing I can see as a message in this episode is screen bad. I mean, stop me if I'm wrong. And leave a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong. I am happy to discuss further, but I do not see anything more than the boomer screen bad, and it's just a shallow message with the only real draw being shock value. No meat, no grit, no substance. Now, as I move through into the next episode, I do have something I need to say about this whole thing, and that is that I do believe that the discussion on technology, not only on how fast it's advancing, but also how far we should really rely on it, is a discussion we should all be having. I will give it to Black Mirror that it has started the conversation for many people, but I don't personally believe that it actually takes part in that conversation. But the most important out of everything in this mix of topics is AI. Now, give me a second to briefly touch upon the topic of AI. Now, the points that I mentioning are also mentioned in a very good video by Boy in a Band. I will try and link that and annotate it because it is a good watch and it goes a lot more in depth to this topic than I do. But basically there are three types of AI. There is ANI, AGI and ASI. Now, you may be thinking, what are all these letters? I'm about to tell you. Now, ANI, that is Artificial Narrow Intelligence. It does things such as basic rudimentary pathfinding and not too much above else. And then we go to Artificial General Intelligence. Now, this is where things start to get a lot smarter, because AGI can do anything that the human brain can do. You know, solve the math problems, do the thinking, I guess. And finally, we have ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence. This is where shit gets scary. There's not much to say about artificial superintelligence, because this is an intelligence which is far beyond our comprehension. Because this is something that makes it even scarier. Now, this is the thing. AGI can easily become ASI all on its own, in a matter of hours even. And this is why. It's because computers aren't like us. They can completely change the way they think and learn, basically rewiring their brains in an instant that would take us thousands and thousands of years of evolution. And that's what's crazy. As I mentioned Boy in a Band's video earlier, he also covers the story of Turry, which is a very interesting story. I will link that video. It's the same video I was talking about earlier, but seriously watch it, because it will even further cement why this next episode is bullshit. I got somewhere eventually. Did I tell you I was going somewhere with this? If not, I was going somewhere with that, and here I am. We're at Metalheads. Now, I hate Metalheads. Metalheads and the fucking Robo-Dogs. This is the thing, right? It's much like the Terminator. Don't get me wrong, the Terminator, it's not a bad movie. But when you're trying to tackle AI in this manner, it's over-fantasized and ridiculously flawed. Because this is the thing, it wouldn't happen like that. There would be no survivor groups. There would be nothing like that. There would be no resistance. If AI wanted us gone, we'd be gone. No robo-dogs, just nanodrones and instant death. And we'd all be gone. Not to mention all the bullshit, stupid shit that doesn't make sense in this episode. Like this. Yeah? You see this? I'm going to show you two scenes, because this door is a magic fucking door. Because she opens it with a key. Yeah? And then the Robo-Dog independently opens it with a keypad lock. But if the keypad lock was locked, she wouldn't have been able to get in by just using the fucking key, because, for one, they're not even on the same side. This is not how doors work, Charlie! We go to, there's a scene where she's stuck in a tree and she's whittling down its fucking battery by throwing rocks at it that she's gotten from somewhere. Maybe they're sweets. I wasn't paying that much attention. It's long, it's trying to be artsy-fartsy, the whole thing is black and white. Black and white does not art make, Charlie!
Can't do it. You can't do it. Your arm's fucked so you can't climb the tree. You take a good look, mate. We've been waiting a long time. A very long time. Welcome back. 1,000, 999, 998, 997, 996, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1,000, 997, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1,000, 998, 3, 2, 1. 992, 992, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, and then it's overly long. She gets to that house, and then somehow the dog knew she was in that house, even though I don't think she used the radio since being in the house. But it knew, because it's fucking magic. And then there's the whole fucking thing where because it's got its fucking paw fucked off earlier. It can somehow now grab a fucking knife in its fucking non-hand and twirl the fucker around. It's just nuts. It doesn't make sense. And then we have her whole master plan of when the dog's coming into the house and it finds the room that she's in. And her brilliant idea, even though she's got this shotgun, instead of blasting the fucker straight in the face, you know what she does? She grabs a tin of paint that's open, by the way, and his house was obviously being decorated at the time that the owners shot themselves in the face, but if you look at them, they're so fucking far decayed. How is this fucking how the fuck is this can of paint still fresh enough for her plan, which is splash the fucking can into the dog's face? Yeah, I'll just give the fucker a paint job. Use your fucking brains. I mean, she eventually shoots the fucker. But that's not the point. The point is that it's just so, as I said, ridiculously flawed and fantasized that I just don't like this episode whatsoever. It's on par with the previous episode mentioned in its ridiculousness of trying to be deep, but it's just shit. I'm not going to go into that episode anymore. We have more to cover, like the next episode. Let me have a look, sec. The next episode I have to cover is Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ. More like hang myself. So, Hang the DJ. And this is going to be a bit of a tricky one to explain. So, it's like this weird universe where everyone's got this little round thing, and it's like a timer. But the timer's for your relationship, basically. And you don't get to pick your relationship. It's just like, oh, this random person you're now going to be with for anywhere. You could choose 24 hours. You know, you could end up having 3 to 6 years together. It's a crazy fucking notion. And yeah, and these two people, they like got together and they kind of liked each other, but then they had to go to other relationships, and then they eventually had another shot. But they didn't want to check the tiny majigs, because they didn't want to know how much time they had, because they just wanted to just spend all the time together. But yeah, and then the one guy, he looks at the thing, and it ends up making the time run down really low, and they end up running away together after they had a fight, but they made up, and they climbed a big wall, and it was a simulation. It was a simulation the entire time. None of it mattered, it was all fake. They did all this bullshit. But not only was it a simulation, it was a simulation for a dating app. It was just a part of the dating app system that was just... I mean, fuck. What can I fucking say about it? I just really failed to see the point in this episode. Finally, the last two episodes. The last two episodes of the shit category that we are covering today. I'm going to try and get this done quick, because I am tired. But yeah, final two, Shut Up and Dance, and Nosedive. The first of the two, in short, a nonce gets blackmailed into doing all such things as robbing a bank and fighting to death with someone else for the money that they robbed from the bank, and ultimately getting dobbed in anyway. What's the social commentary here, Charlie? Anyone can be a nonce? Anyone can get hacked? Don't be a nonce? Help me! Here, please help! Cover your camera when you have a wank. I failed to see it, man. I really failed to see it. What is the moral of the story, even? There's just nothing there, Charlie. And then we're going to swiftly move on to Nosedive, the final episode on the shit category, and then I can move on with my life. At least in Nosedive, I can easily say that it has got a quite a solid moral kind of basis, that you shouldn't worry about other people's approval to be happy, and you should ultimately just enjoy your life, you know. But it does just feel like a child wrote it. I'm not going to lie. It's not really deep in the slightest. It's very surface level. There's nothing below the episode. In fact, this episode and most episodes in Black Mirror are probably about as shallow as the people in the Nosedive episode. The last thing I'm going to say on the subject of why I hate Black Mirror so much is because the name Black Mirror, it refers to your phone screen, your laptop screen, any screen that's off. And it makes you think that this is going to be a lot more deep and reflective and introspective, with all this social commentary deep in it, and it tries to put out like it does as well in the episodes, but it just doesn't do it. Some are great. 15 Million Merits, Archangel, Men Against Fire, they are brilliant episodes that do what they want to do very well, but every other episode just doesn't seem to. Alright, so I really don't feel like there's too much more that I can say on why I hate this series. So I'll move on to the third section of the categories. Not quite what it wants to be, but still pretty overall good episode. I don't know what that was. That was some kind of transition, I think. And now, these are the episodes I've picked out for this section. We have Playtest, San Junipero, and Rachel, Jack, and Ashley too.
San Junipero is a wholesome tale of two old people finding love and moving to cyber heaven, and it's just nice. It doesn't feel like they're trying to force any bullshit message down our throat. I really don't have anything bad to say about this, or the other two I'm about to mention.
Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 deals with, again, coercion and control within the media industry. It's quite a light-hearted episode where two kids, with the help of a robot with the entire personality of a pop star, save the original pop star that the personality of the robot is based off of from her aunt, who's controlling her and basically put her in an induced coma sort of a thing and pulling music out of her brain. But either way, it's a good episode. I genuinely enjoyed it, and I just don't have much more to say about it. It may be the fact that my brain, after 5 series of bullshit, had completely melted. But I did not long rewatch it, that particular episode, and yeah, it held up, I guess. But it's still not what it's trying to be. Moving on to the final episode I'll mention, Playtest. Now, Playtest is probably my favourite in this particular section. Forget the bullshit of untested tech and move your focus beyond the story, and you'll see a tale that focuses on being there for your family and the idea that running away isn't always the answer. Behind this crazy wall of fuckery and horror, the story itself is really well written. The idea of a horror game that it knows exactly what makes you tick, how you work, how to be your most effective scare, not only physically but psychologically as it burrows deep into your psyche. It's a really terrifying idea, because in the episode, the guy himself, the focus of the episode, the main guy, this guy, make him bigger, that's enough. But yeah, because a huge thing for him was he ran away because his father had dementia, and then I think he passed away, and then he got scared, so he started roaming around the country, and ultimately with this entire thing, his mum got dementia. Then it wasn't his mum, that was fake, because that previous stuff was fake, but it was him, and now he doesn't remember anything, but that's all fake because he's dead. But either way, I just think it's just a really interesting episode. Not the kind of message they want to put out, but I do think it is a nice message. But yeah, so in conclusion, I hate this show because they've proven they can do it, but they don't do it. And as I was saying earlier, when it comes to them trying to be deep and reflective, if they weren't trying to be deep and reflective and only had certain episodes that were, I would give them a lot more of a pass. But that is not the case. So, no pass for you, Charlie. No pass. Half the episodes you should have just left as ideas until you could turn them into decent social commentaries as well as a decent episode. Just stop the bullshit. That's all I ask, Charlie. Stop it. If you disagree or you want to discuss any of my points, my comment section, that's what it is there for. But if you like this video, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe. Don't just drop me a like. Grab that fucking orange out of your fruit bowl and then fucking pelt that fucking like button. Just fucking do it. I'll do the Shia LaBeouf thing. Just do it. I mean, green screen doesn't go down that far because I've had to put it up high because I'm a tall boy. But, yeah. I've got a Patreon. Go sub to my Patreon if you wish to support me and the things that I am creating, because I enjoy creating stuff for you, and if I start getting Patreons, the more Patreons I get, the more there will be extra content on my Patreon for those people. Who knows, there may already be some content. Maybe some posts that you can vote on. Have a look. You wouldn't know because you're not my Patreon yet. Anyway, I'm rambling. Wrap this up. Like, comment, subscribe, do the bell thing. Ding, 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 ding. Subscribe to my fucking channel.